Beneath the endless sands of the Sahara lies a mystery older than the pyramids, a world buried by time, swallowed by the desert and forgotten by history. Once this was not an endless wasteland but a land of rivers, lakes, and life. The Sahara, now the largest hot desert on Earth, was once the heart of a green world. Rain fell, grasslands spread for miles, and people lived where today only sandstorms roam. It was the time of the green Sahara, when hunters, herders, and builders flourished. In caves and valleys, carvings still whisper their story. Paintings show herds of cattle, hunters with bows, crocodiles basking near rivers, and elephants walking across plains. These were not the marks of a barren land. These were the memories of people who lived full lives, who built homes, and who ruled kingdoms that time erased. They traded, crafted tools, and shared stories beneath skies full of stars. But then something happened. The rain stopped. Slowly at first, then completely. Rivers dried. Lakes became dust. Crops failed. People began to leave one by one until only silence and wind remained. As centuries passed, the desert grew, swallowing everything in its path. The once green Sahara turned golden and cruel. The cities that may have stood here turned into whispers, into myths told by travelers crossing endless dunes. Among these legends is one of Zerzura, the white city of the Sahara. Explorers spoke of a hidden paradise, a city of beauty and wealth guarded by pale-eyed people. They said it lay somewhere beyond the dunes, surrounded by mountains and oasis gardens. Yet no one ever found it. Was it real or only a story of hope in a land of death? Modern science has begun to uncover what those legends may have hidden. Satellites scanning beneath the surface of the desert reveal ghostly patterns. Ancient rivers that once flowed for hundreds of miles, circular outlines that look like walls or settlements. In Algeria, strange rock formations rise like ancient temples. In Mauritania lies something even stranger. The Richat Structure, known as the Eye of the Sahara. Perfectly circular, its rings stretch nearly 50 kilometers wide. From space it looks too precise to be natural, as if designed by human hands long ago. Some say this could be the true location of Atlantis, the lost civilization destroyed by nature's fury. Though most scientists reject the Atlantis theory, they agree that the Sahara hides far more than we know. Archaeologists have found ancient pottery, tools, and burial sites deep under layers of sand. These discoveries tell of organized societies, not just wandering nomads. People who built, traded, and ruled. They had leaders, rituals, and knowledge of farming and astronomy. Some may have migrated east when the climate collapsed, bringing their culture to the early Nile civilizations that became Egypt. Others may have perished, leaving no trace except stones buried in silence. Around 5,000 years ago, the transformation was complete. The rain never returned. The lakes vanished. Forests turned to dust. The Sahara became what it is today, an ocean of sand that guards its secrets fiercely. Yet under those shifting dunes, history still sleeps. Scientists believe that ancient cities may still lie intact, preserved by dryness. Every storm that moves the dunes uncovers fragments of what was lost. Tools, bones, even stone walls. The desert both destroys and protects. It erases faces but keeps their echoes. It buries kingdoms but keeps them untouched, waiting for those who dare to dig. Each grain of sand could be part of a temple, a home, or a handprint from a world that time forgot. Maybe the Sahara is not just a desert. Maybe it is a tomb, a golden grave covering one of humanity's earliest empires. Some explorers return from their expeditions with strange stories. Lights at night where there should be none. Perfectly cut stones emerging from dunes after sandstorms. Ancient wells still holding traces of fresh water thousands of years old. All of it hints that civilization once bloomed here, that human ambition reached even into the heart of the world's harshest land. The Sahara hides its past well, but one truth remains certain. Where there is desert, there was once life. Beneath the burning winds and endless horizons, something waits. Whether it is the memory of forgotten people, the ruins of a hidden city, or proof that civilization began here before anywhere else, no one yet knows. Until we uncover what lies beneath, the lost civilization of the Sahara will remain one of Earth's greatest mysteries, a reminder that even in the emptiest places, history never truly disappears. Among these legends is one of Zerzura, the white city of the Sahara. Explorers spoke of a hidden paradise, a city of beauty and wealth guarded by pale-eyed people. They said it lay somewhere beyond the dunes, surrounded by mountains and oasis gardens. Yet no one ever found it. Some Some claim to have seen its white gates glimmering under the sun. Others vanished while searching for it. Zerzura became a myth, a dream city swallowed by the desert's hunger. In the early 20th century, adventurers and archaeologists tried to uncover its truth. British explorers like Ralph Bagnold and Laszlo Almasi, whose story inspired The English Patient, mapped forgotten routes through the Libyan desert. They found ancient tracks, lost oases, and mysterious tools that didn't belong to any known tribe. It was clear that once, long before the desert came, a powerful civilization thrived here. Today, modern scientists use satellites, radar scans, and drones to peer beneath the sand. What they found is astonishing. Hidden riverbeds, buried stone walls, and signs of agriculture deep underground. These discoveries prove that the Sahara was once alive. Archaeologists believe these people built settlements long before ancient Egypt rose. Some of them may have migrated east, bringing their farming and spiritual traditions to the Nile Valley, influencing the birth of the Egyptian civilization. In a way, the Sahara's lost civilization never truly disappeared. It transformed, moved, and reshaped the world around it. The descendants of those who once lived under green skies may have become the founders of one of history's greatest empires. Still, the desert keeps its final secrets buried. Every gust of wind covers or reveals something ancient. Perhaps beneath a dune today lies an entire city, streets, walls, and temples untouched for thousands of years. One day, technology may finally uncover it. Until then, the Sahara will remain a silent guardian, holding within its sands the story of humanity's forgotten dawn. The winds of the Sahara are more than just air and dust. They carry memories. Some nights travelers swear they hear faint whispers beneath the dunes, like voices caught between worlds, ancient songs, chants, or prayers long forgotten. Scientists may call it imagination, but to those who have walked deep into the desert, the feeling is undeniable. This land is alive with the past. Buried beneath layers of sand and time, there may be temples dedicated to forgotten gods, statues eroded into shapes unrecognizable, pathways once lined with stones, leading to places of power now invisible to the eye. The Sahara hides these things like secrets, testing whether humanity is ready to rediscover them. In certain places, explorers have unearthed remnants of walls built with remarkable precision, too advanced for nomadic tribes. Pottery fragments decorated with symbols that do not match any known African culture. These traces suggest not just survival but civilization. Organized, intelligent, ambitious. They farmed. They traded. They dreamed. Then the earth turned against them. Climate change destroyed what they built. The rain stopped for generations and the people scattered. Some fled south into the Sahel, blending into tribes that still carry echoes of their ancestry. Others may have gone north toward the Mediterranean, influencing early Berber kingdoms. A few may have reached the Nile, where their knowledge helped shape the birth of pharaohs. For thousands of years, humanity forgot them, yet their fingerprints remain. Across Africa, similar myths speak of ancient ancestors who walked with the sky gods, who spoke to stars and ruled the world before the sands came. These legends may not be fantasy. They may be fragmented memories of the real people who ruled the green Sahara. The more the desert expands, the more it uncovers what it once buried. Satellite imagery continues to reveal shapes that don't belong to nature. Perfect squares, long straight lines, circular foundations. Some scientists believe entire cities are frozen beneath, preserved like insects in amber. One day, perhaps by accident, a sandstorm will reveal a door, a wall, a column, and the world will see the truth. Imagine the moment when archaeologists finally uncover a city beneath the dunes. Streets paved with stone, homes built with artistry, inscriptions in an unknown language. A discovery that rewrites the entire story of human civilization. The Sahara could hold proof that Africa was not only the cradle of mankind, but also the birthplace of its first great kingdom. Until that day comes, the lost civilization beneath the Sahara remains a silent legend. A story that challenges what we know and reminds us how fragile greatness can be. Empires rise, rivers fade, deserts grow, and time buries everything. Yet history never truly disappears. It waits patient beneath the sand for us to remember. Every century, the Sahara shifts and changes, erasing traces of the past yet offering glimpses of what once was. Archaeologists often describe it as a restless ocean, one that never stops moving. Dunes drift like waves, burying one valley while uncovering another. Each new discovery adds a piece to a puzzle that grows more mysterious the deeper it goes. In the heart of Chad, ancient stone circles mark the land. In Libya, engravings show chariots rolling across open grasslands that no longer exist. In Niger, remnants of irrigation systems reveal that early engineers once controlled the flow of water through the desert. These are not random artifacts. They are evidence of human mastery over an environment that would later crush them. One artifact in particular, a small statue found deep in the desert, shows a figure seated on a throne, wearing a crown unlike any seen before. The material was traced to a region hundreds of miles away, suggesting long-distance trade. This civilization was not isolated. It was connected. It was ambitious. It may have been among the earliest networks of power and commerce in human history. Scholars have begun to call it the Saharan civilization, a name meant to give identity to the faceless people who once ruled here. Their story may predate Sumer, Egypt, or the Indus Valley. If so, it would mean that the roots of organized human society reach deeper into Africa than anyone imagined. The transformation of the Sahara is one of Earth's greatest natural events. What was once fertile land slowly turned into one of the harshest environments on the planet. It was not a sudden apocalypse, but a slow suffocation. People resisted as long as they could, building dams, moving livestock, praying for rain. But nature's course could not be stopped. In the end, the desert won. Yet even in defeat, they left behind a legacy. Their descendants carried fragments of their knowledge, architecture, astronomy, agriculture, into new lands. Their stories became myths, their gods reborn under new names, their culture scattered like seeds, and while time erased their cities, it could not erase their impact. Today, when satellites scan the sands or archaeologists unearth shards of pottery, humanity comes one step closer to remembering them. The desert's silence is not emptiness, it is the echo of forgotten greatness. One day, when technology pierces deeper and the wind uncovers what lies below, the Sahara will tell its story. Until then, the lost civilization beneath the Sahara remains a haunting reminder that no empire is eternal. Even the mightiest cities can turn to dust, yet somewhere beneath the dunes, beneath centuries of wind and silence, a civilization sleeps, waiting for the day its name is spoken again. Somewhere in the heart of the desert, perhaps beneath a dune that rises like a golden mountain, lies the proof of everything humanity has forgotten, a buried temple still standing after thousands of years, its pillars carved with symbols no one can read, its halls filled with air untouched since the last breath of the last priest. One day that place may be found. Until then, it is the stuff of dreams and whispers. Travelers who cross the Sahara sometimes speak of strange things. The sound of drums carried by the wind, flashes of light under the sand, sudden warmth that feels alive, as if the desert itself remembers. Whether these are tricks of the mind or echoes of the past, no one can say. Yet every legend begins somewhere, and every myth holds a fragment of truth. Scientists studying the Sahara's geology have found clues that change everything. Beneath the dunes lie the fossilized remains of rivers larger than the Nile. There are signs of ancient dams, irrigation channels, and what could have been ports near now vanished lakes. These were not the works of wanderers. These were the fingerprints of builders, of people who once commanded the desert and made it bloom. If these discoveries are confirmed, the Sahara will no longer be seen as a barrier between civilizations, but as their birthplace. The same land that now divides Africa once united it. The same desert that erases history may be guarding the foundation of it. Some researchers even suspect that the knowledge of the Sahara's ancient people survived through oral tradition. The Dogon of Mali, for instance, possess ancient astronomical knowledge that predates modern discovery. They knew the structure of the Sirius star system long before telescopes existed. Could this knowledge be a remnant passed down from the lost civilization of the Sahara? The deeper scientists dig, the more questions they uncover. Who were these people? What language did they speak? What gods did they worship? Why did they build in the heart of the desert? And how much of their story is already hidden beneath the ruins of later empires? Every answer feels close, yet just out of reach. Like the mirages that dance on the horizon, the truth shimmers before vanishing again. The Sahara keeps its promises in silence, revealing only enough to remind the world that it holds more than sand. It holds memory. It holds the first chapter of humanity. The story of the lost civilization beneath the Sahara Desert is not finished. It is still being written, one discovery at a time. Somewhere beneath the shifting dunes, the past is waiting to be found, not by luck, but by persistence. One day, a hand will brush away the last layer of sand, and a doorway will open to a forgotten world. And when that happens, the desert will no longer be silent. It will finally speak. When that day comes, the world will have to rewrite everything it thought it knew about civilization. History books will open to a new chapter, one written in the language of sand and stone. The Sahara, once dismissed as empty, will become the center of an ancient world that time refused to remember. Imagine the first archaeologist standing at the entrance of that uncovered city. The wind stills, the sand settles, and in the silence the doorway breathes out air trapped for millennia. The walls will tell stories through carvings of kings crowned beneath green skies, of rivers that once ran where dunes now stand, of wars fought and peace celebrated under constellations that have long since shifted. The discovery will not just reveal a lost civilization, it will reveal a lost humanity, a reminder of who we were before kingdoms rose and borders divided us. Artifacts will emerge, preserved in perfect detail by the dryness, pottery painted with symbols no one can translate, metal tools forged with skill that defies their supposed age, perhaps even scrolls or tablets containing words that will take decades to decode. Every object will speak of ambition, belief, and knowledge. Every grain of sand around them will carry the echo of a world that refused to be forgotten. The truth will be overwhelming. The Sahara will no longer be a void. It will become a bridge between the past and the present. It will prove that civilizations rise not from chance but from human determination to thrive, even against nature itself. The people who once lived here turned a harsh land into a kingdom, mastering the balance between earth and sky. Their disappearance was not a failure but a transformation. For every great empire that has ever existed, the Sahara stands as a mirror. Rome fell, Egypt crumbled, kingdoms vanished. Yet beneath the sands, life once found a way. The lesson is clear. No matter how strong we think our world is, nature and time will always be greater forces. Still, what defines humanity is not our fall, but our will to rise again. Perhaps that is why the legend of the lost civilization endures. Because it reminds us that even in the harshest deserts, greatness once existed. And maybe in the silence of the Sahara it still does. The desert is not empty, it is eternal. Beneath the dunes, beneath the centuries of dust and forgotten names lies the beginning of our story. Someday when the world finally listens, the Sahara will whisper the truth. That civilization began not with kings or empires, but with dreamers who dared to build paradise in the heart of the sand. And when that truth finally comes to light, it will shake the foundations of our understanding. The Sahara will no longer be just a desert on a map. It will become a monument to endurance, a reminder that the human spirit has always fought against extinction. Every civilization leaves behind traces, but few are powerful enough to reshape the future after being buried for 5,000 years. The lost world beneath the Sahara will do just that. As excavation teams dig deeper, they might uncover entire neighborhoods frozen in time. Stone streets winding through open courtyards. Homes carved from rock to stay cool under the blazing sun. Marketplaces where traders once exchanged gold, salt, ivory, and stories. In the silence of the dig, the smallest discovery, a bead, a cup, a carving, will feel like a heartbeat returning after centuries of sleep. Further beneath, they may find shrines dedicated to deities no one has ever heard of, gods of wind, of rain, of the shifting earth. Each symbol on those altars will tell of a people who understood the land better than any who came after. Perhaps they worshipped balance, the idea that life and death, water and sand, were one endless cycle. The irony is that the very desert they respected became their tomb. And yet what greater resting place could there be? The Sahara preserved them with reverence. The same winds that buried them also protected them. No looters, no conquerors, only time standing still. Scientists will trace their disappearance not to war or disaster, but to a gradual surrender to nature's will. As the climate changed, they adapted until adaptation was no longer possible. Some migrated, carrying fragments of their identity into distant lands. Others stayed behind, choosing to die where their ancestors once danced beneath rain that would never return. That quiet end is what makes their legacy so powerful. They were not defeated, they were transformed. Their blood runs through the people who built the empires of Africa, the dynasties of Egypt, the tribes of the Sahel. They live on in the art, language, and music that still carry echoes of a time when the Sahara was green. And perhaps that is the greatest truth of all. The lost civilization beneath the Sahara Desert is not gone. It exists in us, in every spark of creativity, in every fight for survival, in every dream of a better world. It was humanity's first lesson in resilience, a message buried beneath the sands to remind us who we are. The wind will keep blowing, the dunes will keep moving, and one day someone will stand where those people once stood, feeling the same heat on their skin and the same awe in their heart. They will realize that the desert was never empty. It was always alive, waiting for someone to listen. And when that happens, the Sahara will speak again, telling its story not as a grave but as the birthplace of human greatness.